and welcome to Beads Jar. My name's Billy and I'm going to be showing you how to make up this beautiful Morse Code and Liberty ribbon bracelet designed by Sarah in our Beads Jar company. I hope you enjoy the project. For this beads design today, we'll be using our beautiful Liberty ribbon. We've got our sterling silver ovals, sterling silver rounds. I have my leather ends, a 10mm lobster clasp, 4mm jump rings, and this heart extension chain. I'll be adding on a size 11 Toho bead, and I've got a selection of crimp beads here, but I'll be just choosing to work with my silver. And I'll be threading the Tohos onto the Bealadon. I'll need a bit of Fevi Kwik to attach my fasteners at the end. And then tool-wise, quite simply, we've got a pair of side cutters, flat nose pliers and scissors. And I will just need a ruler as well. So for this beautiful project that Sarah, our designer, has done, we've spelled out the words "Love Your Mum" because it was a Mother's Day design, but you can choose any Morse code message that you wish to write. So I've laid out my design, my Morse code, and then that's up to you completely to lay it out, but I would advise doing that prior to starting, just to make it easier for you. Then next, I've just cut about 20 centimeters of my Bealadon, and I'm going to be attaching that to my fastener before threading up my Morse code. So I'll take my crimp beads. So I just need 2 of those, 1 for each end. And I'm going to also add my jump ring. So you just want to face the split of your jump ring towards the top and just hold the side with a pair of flat nose pliers, and then you're just going to twist that open. So you push one side away from you and you bring one towards you to open the jump ring. And then what we want to do is connect that jump ring onto our lobster clasp. So we're going to go through the loop of the lobster clasp, and then we're going to close the jump ring back together. So you just want to push against the side and you're going to pull those back together so that there's no gap in your jump ring. I'm then going to pick up my cable and one of the crimp beads and thread the crimp bead onto the cable wire. So I've come about 2 centimeters down my wire here, and I'm going to go back through the jump ring and take the tail end of the cable wire back on myself, so back through the crimp bead that I've just threaded up. Pull that crimp bead all the way down to the jump ring, so it's just sat next to it. And with your flat nose pliers, we're going to crush the crimp bead flat. So you just want a nice firm grip and one smooth movement to crush that crimp bead. This crimp bead, once crushed, won't move at all on your wire, it'll just stay in position. Now we can start threading our beads. For this length, I'm going to use 12 of the size 11 Tohos to start my threading. So I'm just going to check where I'm up to there. I think I've got the 12 on. So we're going to do 5, 10 and 12. So I've got the beads on to start, and you'll notice my tail ends sticking out here. We don't want that, so I'm just going to slide the beads along, and then I'm going to tuck that tail end into the beads so that we don't have any scratchy ends of wire coming out of there. So that's the 12 beads, and now I can start threading the Morse code. So I've got my layout here. So I'm going to start with the love. So you're just going to thread the bead. So I've got my dot dot dash dot for my L. And then I'm going to add in between the letter 1 single size 11 Toho bead. And then I'm doing my O, so that's dash 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 for the Morse code, As I say, you can go onto Google and get a Morse code print off so that you can decide which message you wish to put on there. Okay. And as you can see, that's just going on to my wire as well. So I'm just going to finish off that word and then I'll show you the next step. Here we have our Morse code bracelet threaded up, and I'm just going to push the beads along towards the lobster clasp so we don't have a loop of wire showing at this end. And then as you can see, there's our Morse code going all the way along, and I've finished with the 12 beads. In between the actual words as well, I just added an extra Toho, so between the love and the you and mum, there's just 2 Tohos here. So we're at the end and we're wanting to now finish the part of the bracelet off. So I'm going to take my 4mm jump ring and my extension chain, and I'm just going to take the flat nose pliers again and open up the jump ring. So we're just going to open that the same way we did the first one, so by holding one side and pushing away. So I've opened that up and hook that onto the end of the extension chain. So we'll close that back together, making sure that we have no gap in our jump ring. And then I'm going to take hold of my next crimp bead. So that's going to go onto our thread, our Bealadon, and through the 4mm jump ring. Let that crimp bead go down to your beads and take your thread back through the crimp bead and through a few of your Toho seed beads, so 5, 6, whichever. And you'll notice I've got the tail end of my wire coming out here. I'm going to hold the loop and I'm just bringing that down so that we're getting rid of the big loop of wire into the bead. Just before I crush this crimp bead, I'm going to pick up my side cutters and I'm going to take the excess wire off. Then when I crush my crimp bead, that wire will pop back inside and be hidden so we don't have any scratchy ends. So I'm just going to take that away now. So you just want to cut that excess wire off. So I haven't crushed my crimp bead at this point. And then you're taking your flat nose pliers to crush the crimp bead flat. So nice firm squeeze on the crimp bead, and that's holding all that in place. So that's our little bracelet in the Morse code section done. And now we're going to add the Liberty ribbon to do the double bracelet as well. So we're just going to move that to the side for a second, and I'll show you what I'm working with here, which are our leather ends. It's like a square but without a top, and then you fold one side over. So we're going to take our Liberty ribbon and flat nose. And I would suggest, if you've got this available at home, to use your Fevi Kwik, and you're going to drop a drop of Fevi Kwik into your leather end. You then want to hold the ribbon inside the leather end. So that's what it looks like from the other side. And we're going to fold the sides over. Now I find it easier to fold one first, so I'm just going to fold that over with my pliers, and I'm going to kind of walk, so squeezing from the top down, and then you'll see that this side hasn't folded, so then I'm going to come again at a bit of an angle and fold that leather end, and that's connected my ribbon to the end. Get your bracelet back, and we now need to connect the leather end to our 4mm jump ring. So find the opening of your 4mm jump ring, and then we're going to push one side away, same way we opened it before, and we're going to hook our leather end with the ribbon onto that same jump ring. So on this one we have our extension chain, our bead and our Liberty ribbon. Now we need to get our length. So that, I'm just going to hold that and I'm going to run my finger along until we get to this side. And I'm going to cut my ribbon to the same length as the beads, because we're then going to add a small loop, so that needs to be accepted into the length before the jump ring. So I'm going to cut the ribbon the same distance as the beads. And then we're going to pop our end on as well. So taking your Fevi Kwik, pop a drop of that inside. And then we lay that flat. Inside the end, and we're going to use the pliers, flat nose pliers, to fold the edges over, just as we did on the other side. And then just get a little angle there, and you're folding that side on as well. And we are very, very close to finishing this beautiful project, so we're just going to open the 4mm on this side. And we're going to connect our loop and close that together again. Really make sure there's no gap, because we don't want any ends slipping off the jump ring and the fastener. So you've got the two together now, and you've got your extension chain so that the length can be adjusted, and that gives you that really very attractive Morse Code and Liberty ribbon bracelet. So thank you, Sarah, for that lovely design, and I hope you enjoy making that one up. Thank you for watching our tutorial today. If you've enjoyed it, remember to give us a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to see all of our latest projects on our YouTube channel. So we hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.